Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name's Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody that may feel like they're wearing rose-colored glasses or they're not really being honest with themselves about the situation they're involved in or that they're dealing with, but that's okay. They'd rather pretend everything is fine. I don't want to like ruin anything for anyone, but the guy who wants to eat steak from the Matrix, that kind of vibe, right? It's fine. If it's an illusion, I don't care. So I don't know. I kind of feel like we have a little bit of a reality check for somebody that wants to pretend everything is going to be fine when obviously it's saying probably not. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a great weekend so far, or whatever day it is that you watch this. If you're interested in a personal reading, my email address is in the description box below. Let's dive in. We'll start with the Fairy Lenormand. What do we got? Number 35, the Anchor, and number 23, the Mice. So this feels to me like it could be a habit or an expenditure that somebody should probably reconsider. It feels like there is a risk to somebody's financial stability because of something that slowly eats away at whatever this is. So, if you were to give up whatever this habit is, you would save $100 a week or whatever it is, that kind of thing. It's making things difficult. And I feel like whoever is our main character here, it's kind of like willful ignorance. I know I could change that, but maybe I just don't want to. Is there another option? So perhaps a little bit of stubbornness. This is the Rider-Waite, Knight of Cups, Eight of Swords, and the Two of Swords in the reverse. So this Knight of Cups may not be an actual person. This could be an opportunity to make things better, right? Oh, well, if I changed this or if I canceled that or if I didn't do this, then everything would be fine. But I don't know if I can do that. There's a mental block here, an unwillingness to make a decision, even though it would be practical or make sense. We have somebody that's kind of stuck in the what ifs or yeah, but they're trying to justify not making a change is what's coming through. We have the Ace of Swords, Six of Pentacles in the reverse, Hanged Man in the reverse. But the truth is, I think, noticed by somebody close to this individual, and they may be trying to convince whoever they are that maybe you do need to make this change. Maybe it's time to quit smoking. Maybe it's time to stop taking Ubers. Maybe it's time to stop drinking. There's something here that somebody is unwilling to really commit to or agree, even though I think they can begin to understand the logic behind it or why it would be a good choice. Hello there, Nathaniel. How are you doing? It's a sacrifice. I think at the end of the day, that's the problem. Okay, I'm going to tell you all my story. I have for a long time tried to drink less Dr. Pepper. I think I've cut back quite a lot. I still love it. But I also have a love for energy drinks. Well, you guys will see me every once in a while drink a Red Bull on here. And I have told myself I can't buy them anymore to try to see if I can just like stop drinking that. Especially if I make my own sweet tea, then I don't really feel like I need that like overload of caffeine. Now, maybe mine seems trivial, right? But this is somebody who's like, well, I feel like I should make this change, but I don't really know. No, that's just like asking too much. And there's a resistance to this change that would be beneficial. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I really want to give up the energy drinks. How am I going to make it through the day? So the concept of letting go or changing whatever this is, I feel somebody's lying to themselves about that. Now, you can get all mad at me if you want, but what I'm saying is you're lying to yourself about being incapable of doing something. In other words, you do have the self-control. You do have the strength. But for right now, I see somebody stuck in this Eight of Swords saying, oh gosh, I don't think I could do it. No, this is too much. Nope. Can't do it. But you can. Two of Pentacles in the reverse, Knight of Wands in the reverse, Ace of Cups in the reverse. So there could be some waffling on this decision. I could do this. It would save me money. It would make things a little bit easier, or I could make this change. I could stop meeting my friends every Friday, whatever it is, right? And then I feel there's a possibility of making this decision before things get a little bit crazy or a little bit more concerning. So there could be an unexpected expense or a change in your circumstances. With the Ace of Cups in the reverse, this is kind of coming through as somebody that you normally can rely on is not able to help. So if you're able to every once in a while ask, your sibling to, loan you $50, or if you're normally able to ask a neighbor to watch your kids for you while you go to work, there's something here that doesn't work out and that causes some frustration. So it's like the universe is saying, if you can plan ahead and change this behavior before you get to this point, things will be less problematic. But I think I'm reading for somebody that likes to kind of get stuck in their own world, which I really can't say too much about because I do that. Hello, James. How are you? Hello, Frederick. I saw you at the end, like the very tail end of my last reading. So I couldn't say hello. So right after I was signing off. So hello twice. Once for each alien. All right. This is the What's the News? What do we have? Love bombing, overly attentive, showered with affection for personal gain, fed up over it, not having it, and frustrated. So this kind of feels like if you are able to lean on somebody for some assistance, whether it's for childcare or maybe, hey, can I steal a couple cans of cat food, or hey, do you have any sugar, or just, Red Bull. This is somebody who's like, I'm not going to do this anymore. You got to take care of your own stuff. So it kind of feels like somebody's getting cut off, or somebody has to be more independent, more responsible. And, sucking up to somebody or complimenting them isn't going to get you what you want. So it's suggesting frugality or holding back on expenses, because there could be a change in terms of what you can rely on or what you're being paid or what you have to pay. Some of you may be facing higher rent costs in the new year. So for some of you, I'm getting there's a tendency to go out on first dates to get dinner or to have a nicer experience for food. And it's causing some sort of problem, perhaps with the person who helps you out from time to time. This isn't for everyone. I feel like this would be maybe about a quarter of you. Hello there, Pharaoh. For the rest of you, this is saying your priorities might be preventing you from getting into a relationship that would actually make you happy. In other words, some of your behaviors or habits or things that you like to do may make it more difficult for you to run into this person or for you to align with that person. So with this puzzled, it's like you're looking for something, but you can't find it because Rose-colored glasses? Buying into illusions? There's a desire for you to like fully wake up and see how things really are, instead of, for some of you, this is saying you need to quit drinking or you need to cut back. For others of you, this is saying if you want to get serious about a relationship, you got to stop hanging out with like, I wanted to say with like ones and twos, but I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying people who aren't serious, like don't do the side missions. So this could, for some of you, be if you want to be in an actual relationship, stop tolerating situationships. And for many of you, this is saying if you are fed up dealing with people who pretend to be your friend, but are not there when you need somebody reliable, or they don't really seem to be looking for a way to connect or understand who you are. Maybe you ask them how their day is, but they don't ever ask you how you're doing. This is like, hey, if you know they're two-faced, then why are you spending time with them? You hoping they're gonna grow like a third face? Let's see what happens. It's like, no, don't get all buddy or matched off, or hang out, live with, whatever, with people that you don't feel like you can trust. Red flags need to be taken seriously, and we have somebody who's willing to be kind of under the illusion and pretend everything's fine. Hello, Elise. How are you doing? All right, this is the Tattoo Tarot. What else do we have? Magician in the reverse. Ten of Swords in the reverse. Four of Swords. Saying I can't do it when somebody can. Lack of confidence or courage. I don't know if I could really do that. I don't know if I could make that change. This could, for many of you, be about, I don't know if I could, live on my own. I don't know if I could afford my own place. I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I'd have that. There are a lot of questions, and I think the most important thing is, are you willing to answer them to the best of your knowledge? Like, are we ignoring the situation altogether and assuming that you can't handle it before you've even looked into it? I think this is a call to action for somebody to realize that they're far more capable than they really think they are. That if there's a decision or an action they're considering, and that maybe they're taking their time with, they need to just kind of go ahead and do it. Knight of Swords, Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. All right, for some of you, the message is, if you are content to stay in a situation that is not up to your standards, let's say you would like to be married someday, but you're dating somebody who doesn't want to get married, or you want to have a family and you're with somebody who doesn't want to have kids. There's something here about don't settle. Don't be hanging out with the wrong. I'm not like saying you have to marry a particular type, but it's like, if you know this isn't something that's going to have a future, you could be missing out on something that does have a future. So the universe is like, hey, you're going to have to make up your mind. If you really do want to settle for this, if this is what you want, if this is the life that you seek, so be it. But if you are not happy, then do something about it. And that will help you avoid this loss or like missed opportunity. For some of you, this is more so about a creative opportunity. The Ace of Cups is not always about love. Sometimes this is about doing what's right for yourself, and can talk about your creative skills. For many of you, though, this is about not staying in a connection that is disappointing in some way, because you will potentially miss out on something that is really good for you, or, that equal give and take, whatever it is that you're looking for. So we have the King of Cups, King of Wands in the reverse, and the Nine of Cups in the reverse. It feels to me like the decision is, do you want to stay with a partner that is maybe emotional, but not always in the best way? It could be that this person is a little bit temperamental or difficult to get along with. Maybe they don't understand how you view things. They might, I don't know why. I feel like somebody hates somebody's hobby. Like, you're cool and all. I like hanging out with you, but I'm going to make fun of you because I don't understand why you like doing that. That's not a very loving way to treat somebody, in my opinion. I mean, to each their own, but whatever. Hello, Peggy. Thank you. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Jane Doe. How's it going? Do you guys want to hear something funny? When I was recording the shorts, like the short videos on my phone, it kept picking up Whitney's face as a second face in the picture when I was recording. It was cracking me up, like, oh, it's just me and Whitney taking selfies. No big deal. All right. Hierophant in the reverse, Six of Pentacles, Two of Swords. That's right. If you're not interested in the kind of relationship I'm looking for, or one at all, then I'm not going to waste my time here. I'm not going to continue under this illusion that maybe I'll convince you, or maybe you'll change your mind. That doesn't really serve anyone, right? If I'm going to be honest with myself, that puts me in a situation where I can actually get whatever it is that I want. So I see somebody deciding, I want this equal give and take. I'm not going to pretend I'm in a relationship or pursue a relationship with somebody that doesn't want that same kind of experience, right? I got stanzas, okay? This is the Energy Oracle. What else do we have? Aw, that's such a cute card. It's called Caring Connections. It's number 14. We also have number 34, Door to Personal Healing and Happiness. So the idea being, sometimes you just have to challenge yourself, believe in yourself a little bit, and realize, okay, so maybe this current situation isn't going to work out because there's something that is meant for me out there. There is a new love or a new connection being sent to somebody. But there is a concern that it's going to be a bit difficult to convince our Eight of Swords individual to let go of that mental block and say, well, you know what? Maybe it is possible that there's somebody else out there for me. Or, you know what? Maybe it is possible that I need to make this change, that I need to consider things in a fresh way. We've got the fourth chakra. Archangel Raphael is offering some protection. Fourth chakra is the heart chakra. That's about self-acceptance. If you give yourself permission to have those requirements or whatever it is that you deem necessary for someone to be in a relationship with you, that is you saying, I'm not going to accept anything less, right? This person is trying to get to that point, or is being encouraged to get to that point where they say, I deserve more than this. Because this garden in the gate card, this is about somebody who is comfortable in their front yard. I can see everything from here. Gosh, it's pretty, but I'm just a little bit too scared to step outside of the gate. I think I'll stay in here where it's safe. The universe would disagree. The universe is saying, I got your back. I'll protect you, but you're going to have to leave that front yard because that's not where you're supposed to be. There's something else out there. See? Once you look out the windows, you see there's other opportunities. But we have a concern that you're going to miss out on this love because you are distracted by pretend love or something that isn't quite love. This is the Gilded Reverie. How are you, Johnny? Hello, Christina. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Oh, we got the Fox and the Whip. Ooh, okay. This is interesting, but I'm just going to say it. There could be somebody here who is upset that you rely on them to fix some sort of problems here, but you don't fix them for yourself. So they're kind of getting to the point where they want to teach you a lesson. Remember the Fed Up card? So there's a potential for like a backlash or some sort of like punishment from this person because they feel like they're the ones that always has to make sure everything's okay. Now, if you know my channel, you know that when the whip comes out, there's this little joke that I tell. And if you missed it, about, let's see, like maybe 5 or 6 days ago, I did the whip and my mom was around, so she joined me. This sounds so weird. But it's the video that has the different background because I was visiting my parents. But whenever this comes out, that's what happens on my channel. The whip. No, not the whip. The whip. No, please, not the whip. The whip. No, please, anything but the whip. Anything? The whip. My mom loved the comments, by the way, that y'all put on that video. Apparently it was quite the popular rendition. But anyways, this is just a little bit of a maybe you need to take care of yourself. So I kind of feel like this would be a third party who feels you're not in a relationship with them. Maybe you kind of ask them to do some of those things. Or this is somebody who feels like they offer a lot of condolences or support because you're dealing with a relationship that is less than what you deserve. So this is just, you deserve better coming from a close friend or a family member, but they are a little bit frustrated because it's like they have to kind of clean up that mess or help you through that disappointment over and over again. So we have this option to get off of that like repeating cycle of disappointment. You can take the exit off the highway and choose a different destination. And that destination is the wishing well. So by breaking the cycle, choosing something different, we have somebody that is able to get what it is that they want. But first they have to get this 8 of Swords energy out. No more blocks, no more questioning, am I strong enough? Can I make this change? Can I do that? Of course you can. So we have the book, which references wisdom or secrets. And we have the cross, which talks about the dark night of the soul or spiritual awakening. We have a realization that this is time that I could be spending in a happier environment or in a happier existence. I might feel like it's easy or less disruptive if I just stay here, but I'm stealing from myself because these are times or days that I could be spending with somebody that I do love or that I do feel loved by. So I think this is a chance to see how much control you have over your own life. Sometimes we have the wrong impression. Some people think they have more control than they do. A lot of people think that they have less control than they do. And this person's realizing I could make this change. I could, take a little bit of a chance here, go off on my own perhaps, and I could be the person that I want to be, or I could find the person that I want to find, but I can't just stay here because I'm scared of what could happen out there, right? So, time for adventure. All right, this is Nightmare Before Christmas. Hello, Nick. How are you doing? Ooh. There are definitely some lies out there. We challenge ourselves to be as honest as we can, right? We don't have to be rude, though. If I just went out there and told everybody that's wearing Crocs that I hate Crocs, I could probably find myself in a few arguments. It might be bad for me. All right. What else do we have? We have the Hanged Man, Temperance in the reverse. And the Page of Potions or the Page of Cups in the reverse. I do feel we have it's like, I want to see things different. I want to believe that I could change this or I could do something to correct what feels off in my life because it's making me feel upset or it's causing sadness, you know? There's nothing worse than being in a room with somebody that supposedly cares about you and still feeling lonely. Should be able to address that, right? We should get to the point where that isn't how things are. But this is like somebody who's not really feeling connected to somebody that I feel they're trying to make it work with, but it's just kind of like, well, if I'm the only one trying. And for some of you, this is not about a relationship. It's more so about, I might have, little flings here and there, but the thing that I'm being challenged on is not drinking or not going out or not gambling. There's a change in behavior that helps somebody, not just financially, but also puts them in a place where they meet somebody very important in their life. And it's honestly just about looking in the mirror and saying, I'm worth it. I'm worth something better than, somebody ignoring me or somebody not really feeling up to commitment, We have Lovers in the reverse, Knight of Presents, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Five of Potions or Five of Cups in the reverse. I'm not going to hang out here and wait around forever and hope that you realize just how special I am. Instead, I will recognize how special I am, and I will go out and find that personal healing and happiness. It's out there. You can tell. Look at the good weather. Hello, Upper Echelon. How are you doing? Hello, Glenda. I hope you're having a great weekend. I'm not going to waste my life. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm happy. And I'm not going to pretend that you're the right person for me, Maybe it's easy to do that, but if it is more challenging for me to go off on my own and find something different, then so be it. This just ain't it, So I think we finally have a willingness to let go of some illusion or some, I can't change this, or this is just how things are. No, you know what? I can change this. Seven of Potions and the Two of Needles, or the Two of Swords, which is basically saying, I see now that I have a choice. And that choice is, do I want to keep believing what I believe, or do I want to make a change? Very matrixy. It's like I need a drum roll. Is somebody able to do a drum roll for me, please? Damn it. All right. Four of Presents, which is the Four of Pentacles, and the Devil in the reverse. Okay, I like it. I'm not going to keep giving to a situation that's not going to get where I want it to be. It's not going to grow into what I want it to be. So therefore, it's something that's really holding me back from what would make me happy. So I'm going to just move on and find that thing that makes me happy, or be open to a new relationship that would, better align with what I want. Queen of Candles or Queen of Wands in the reverse, and the Page of Presents or Page of Pentacles in the reverse. But it looks like this change happens within your life when you decide on it. It's not going to show up and demand that you get rid of these old habits or, change this situationship or whatever it is. You have to choose. You have to say, okay, that's what I want. I know I've been choosing the other door, the other stairwell, but I'm ready for something different. I want something that is more meaningful, right? So maybe we'll see the Worth the Wait or calling in your soulmate card, because it feels like this is the universe saying, here's your chance. You want to find a love for the lifetime or for a lifetime, then let's get serious. Let's stop getting distracted by the side missions, right? So we have somebody that is going to, I think, kind of surprise you. There's going to be a lot of chemistry between the two of you. There's going to be a deep conversation where you do discover you have quite a lot in common, especially, I think, in terms of how you want to spend the next 5 to 10 years. You want to have that in common. We've got give your relationship a chance. You may initially find this person to not quite be up to par, but you might be a little bit difficult to please. Look what we got, you guys, calling in your soulmate. Called it. So when you reject that which is not what you're looking for, you tell the universe, I'm ready for the thing that I do want. I'm not going to settle anymore, right? All right, this is the situations deck. What else do we have? All right. I try not to tell this story too much, but it does feel appropriate. There was a time where I went to break up with somebody, and it's like it wasn't accepted. Have you ever had your 2 weeks notice rejected? Convinced me, well, let's just try to make it work. And I would argue that there was some emotional manipulation at foot. And for another week, we were in a relationship. I couldn't do it. Once you get to that point where you decide, I'm done, at least for me, maybe not for everyone. And it's man, now I just feel like I'm faking it. And I hate that. I do not have time to be faking emotions or be fake around people. I like you or I don't. I'll be respectful either way, but I'm not going to fake things, right? So literally my stomach hurt to be around this person. I was just kind of this is not good. This is just inauthentic and I don't want to be here. There's no coming back from this. I caught the ick or it's just not a thing. There's a moment where our Eight of Swords individual realizes, what am I doing here? Why am I trying to make this work? We are so different, or you don't treat me the way I deserve, or you like something that I think is really weird. There's just this realization, we are very different people. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. And I think part of it could be that you encounter some not so nice energy from this person. They might not be directing this vindictive or petty energy towards you with the retaliation, but you might see them mistreat somebody else, like a friend or a family member, and that might just make you realize, wow, why am I dealing with you? I don't like how you treat people. We've got children, young, childhood, and playful. For many of you, this is a sign you don't necessarily have the same plans in terms of what kind of family you want to have, or if you want to have a family, or how to raise your family. For others of you, this is a reference to a change or a significant difference in terms of maturity. If I can handle myself in a tricky airport situation without being totally rude, I think that demonstrates some maturity. If you go through a particularly challenging retail or airport or whatever situation, and you just lose it on the person who has no control over the policy whatsoever, I might start to question if you have some problems with communication. There's a way to talk to people that will make your life easier, and there's a way to throw a temper tantrum and just look like a loser while also not getting what you want. Ask me if I worked in retail. I'm not going to say I'm the most patient person. I'm not perfect, okay, you guys? But I'll just tell you this. When you work in retail and you work in hospitality, I really hope you learn how to talk to people in a way that gets you what you want instead of pissing them off, because some people learn that and some people don't. We've got the commitment card. We've got settlement in the reverse and gossip. So until you figure out how you're going to deal with this half relationship or this situation where you don't really want to be in, maybe, just going on a bunch of dates, but you don't really like any of the people, until you remove yourself from that not so great behavior or that not really a relationship, then this commitment gets stalled or even potentially turns into a lost opportunity. So the universe is asking you to take action and stop dealing with whoever this is that has this toxic, childish energy. But I'm going to have to cleanse. All right. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot. Let's see what else we've got for you. What else do we need to know? Ten of Swords, the World, and the Four of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, this is, I've lost interest. And I'm ready for something different. I don't know. I didn't keep reading young adult novels well into my adulthood either. Sometimes you just outgrow things. Sometimes, oh shit, I did read Twilight. I'm sorry, I lied to you. Oh, I just self-owned. Okay. This is just saying, look, I outgrew whatever this immature connection was or this immature behavior. Maybe I'm done partying. Maybe I'm done going on dating apps. Maybe I'm done trying to pick people up on bars or in bars, whatever it is. I'm ready to do a different approach or take a different approach and not get caught up in this waste of time or this karmic cycle. So 8 of Cups, the High Priestess. I'm listening to my intuition and I'm taking a different path. I'm going to do something different because I know how the other thing ends. I know how that goes. I know it's down that path. Hello there, Sarah. How are you doing? So we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse and Death. Might seem a little bit disorganized or disruptive from other people in your life, the changes that you decide to make, but that's okay. A lot of times when you make significant changes in your life, those who have settled are going to have something to say about it, and they may not be very positive. They might be a little judgy, like, oh, that's what you decided? Interesting. Probably not something I would have done, but okay. Now, admittedly, I have made not the best decisions in moments like this. There's that one time I decided to dye my hair purple and red. Medium. But there's this overwhelming desire to make a change that hits this person and they realize there's an opportunity that they could walk into, but they have to be willing to move on. They have to be willing to let go of what isn't working for them. It's not terrifying to be single, you know? It may be for a little bit for this person, but I think they end up getting more comfortable with the idea of change and realizing it doesn't mean that they are alone. So I think they face that fear. They acknowledge that sometimes it's just not the right situation or not the right place for them to be. And maybe it's best to go on a little adventure, try something different. This is the Spiritual AF deck. We'll grab a few from there and then we'll call it a night. Oh, Lord. Anyone going to top that? I can't come close to that. I'm sorry, ladies. You win. Hello, Santiago. How are you doing today? What else do we have? Maybe you literally can even. I kind of thought we might see this one because we were talking about that Eight of Swords, right? You are capable of so much more than you probably think you are. So every once in a while, I want to ask you to remind yourself all of the things you've been through, all of the things that you have gotten through, endured, overcome, learned from, moved on from, that maybe in the moment you kind of felt was insurmountable or totally difficult. I've been in a few situations where I was like, okay, kind of feels like I'm going over like the edge of the like log chute ride, but there's nobody operating the ride and I don't really know how things are going to go. But we just have to take a deep breath. We've got the world doesn't owe you anything. Okay. I'm sorry. Your brain speaks total fuckery unless you turn your soul on. So we might have been overly analytical, accepting a situation or a life that wasn't quite what you were looking for because you felt like you had to, or because it seems too difficult to make a change. This is one that was really important for me to learn. No equals a full sentence. I ain't got to tell you what I'm doing instead. I don't have to tell you my reasoning. No, period. Maybe I should like make a shirt that just says no, so I can just go, let's see, it says no. This is my answer. Or I'll just get like a ping pong paddle and put yes or no, and then that'll make it easy, right? Real clear. You can read it. Probably with like green or red. Green, obviously, with the yes. Red, no. Just to be real, like, you know, it's easy to understand. When you are wrong, admit it. When you are right, be quiet. All right. There could be somebody here who wants to talk to you about how you're making the wrong choice, and it might not be worth your time to have a conversation with them at all. When you are right, be quiet. I shut down real fast when I realize it's a waste of my time. If I'm not talking to you in an argument, that's probably a bad sign for you. I've either decided we don't need to be friends, we don't need to date, or you will never learn. Not to sound judgy, but that's when I don't feel like there's anything I can say that will salvage the situation, right? If you don't feel like it's a constructive use of your time to argue with somebody, if they're just not getting it, then don't continue the conversation. You know, maybe we should continue this at a later time or not. Just think that last part. You don't have to say that last part. that relationship I was referencing earlier definitely felt like they were just trying to like keep me in a conversation and make me feel bad. And it's like, I'm not going to feel bad when I know for my mental health, the right choice is to be single. You will not make me feel guilty for that ever. I will do so. I will choose, my words respectfully. I will try to make sure I'm not a jerk about it. But like, you just try to make me feel bad for doing what's right for my mental health. Ain't gonna work. Oh, you all are so nice. Yes, I would agree with that. Hello, Upper Echelon. All right, you all are awesome. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Doodles.